Live from tape, pre-recorded at our studios in Austin, Texas and Portland, Oregon, it's Syndicated with Lesley and Ben. Hi everyone, I'm the Ben of that.
And I'm the Lesley. This is a twice-monthly podcast about television, genre, and storytelling, in which we watch an episode of a show and explore the history of television one episode at a time.
We are joined by Syndicated with Lesley and Ben, superstar special guest Jeff Martin, who's been on the show, count 'em, 1, 2, 3, 4 times now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is number 4.
I need to make more friends.
Which, now I kind of want to look up and see how many, what's the lead for that? Am I the syndicated guest world champion?
It's you and our friend Rachel.
Yeah, Rachel. That's right.
I think you've got one over Rachel, for what it's worth, because Rachel did not come on the adult animated season.
That's right.
What was your animated? Oh, it was Ugly Americans.
Yeah.
Ugly Americans, Workaholics, and News Radio, right?
Yes.
Okay. And today.
Yeah, and the extremely cursed Better Call Saul recording.
Extremely cursed Better Call Saul
Extremely
recording.
Cursed. It's okay, we've broken the curse. We're on.
For the listener at home, we had to reschedule twice. In the time since we initially booked this episode, and the time in which we are actually recording this episode, Netflix has changed its password management system.
Yes.
And now is doing the annoying thing where if you don't live with the originator of your account, it will flag you as a separate account and try to charge you extra money to watch Netflix.
Sure will.
And I preface that by saying I did not rewatch the episode today because I'm not paying for Netflix.
Fair enough.
But I've seen this episode like 4 times, and I love the show to death. So I'm sure we'll still be able to talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
That being said, you may ask yourself, what show? If you're just now joining us, we're talking about Better Call Saul, the AMC-produced prequel to Breaking Bad that ran from 2015 until last year in 2022. Much like Breaking Bad, this show is produced by series creator Vince Gilligan and writer Peter Gould, and features New Mexico's suburban world and beautiful vistas and the unconventional characters that run criminal enterprises right under our noses. In Breaking Bad, it was Walter White's blue meth empire. In Better Call Saul, it's Jimmy's nefarious law practice and the Salamanca family's cocaine cartel.
Better Call Saul showcases the elaborate downfall of James McGill, a Midwest conman who tries to go straight by becoming a lawyer in Albuquerque after burning out and getting arrested in his hometown in Illinois. While initially on the up and up, throughout the show, Jimmy makes a series of impulsive, bitter, and morally dubious choices that eventually lead to him falling out of grace with the Albuquerque legal community, becoming a lawyer on retainer for the cartel, and becoming Walter White's right-hand man by the time he appears in the 2nd season of Breaking Bad.
Oops.
Oops what? Oops?
Just oops. A series of oops that eventually turns you into Walter White's lawyer.
I mean, yeah, I guess that if you're Walter White's lawyer, then you've definitely taken some wrong turns somewhere.
Yeah, you make some money, but
at what cost?
I don't think that's what old Jimmy had in mind for his future.
Certainly not.
Bob Odenkirk plays James McGill, a.k.a. Slippin' Jimmy, a.k.a. Saul Goodman, a.k.a. a 4th name that I won't spoil for Lesley.
Thank you.
Jimmy is an unprincipled conman and grifter who tries to follow in his brother's footsteps by becoming an attorney. His brother does not appreciate the gesture, and firmly believes that putting the law in Jimmy's hands is like giving a chimp a machine gun. That is a direct line from the show.
A wonderful direct line from the show.
Jimmy has big dreams of running his own firm with his partner, in every sense of the word, Kim Wexler, and servicing New Mexico's elderly community by practicing elder law. Those plans just keep getting derailed by Jimmy's own more criminal schemes. Yeah. Odenkirk is one half of the Mr. Show comedy duo with comedian David Cross, and he featured prominently in Breaking Bad from season 2 until the end of the show as obviously the very same character. And he's already back on AMC with a new show that I have not started yet called Lucky Hank. but
Really?
I hear is very good.
I have also heard that it is very good.
Well, I haven't heard anything about it.
Well, it's on AMC, and it's called Lucky Hank.
Well, I think it's probably going to be pretty good then.
And the third fact is that I haven't started it yet. So I
Fair
really
enough.
can't tell you anymore.
Ray Seahorn plays Kim Wexler, a principled young upstart lawyer who starts working at Hamlin McGill as an intern around the same time Jimmy starts working in the mailroom. Kim acts as Jimmy's straight man for much of the series, grounding him back to his morals and pulling him out of awful situations he's willingly walked headfirst into, often at the expense of her own career connections. Ray Seahorn is no stranger to legal and political dramedies, having featured in Franklin and Bash before Better Call Saul, as well as having 4 appearances on Veep during the show's run. She is set to star in producer-writer Vince Gilligan's next series, which has already been picked up by Apple TV. I keep hearing that I need to watch Veep. I guess probably I should do that. I keep hearing that it's amazing.
As somebody who has watched the first season of that show twice, yeah, it's pretty good.
Well, all right.
I think I've watched the first 3 seasons. I can't remember. I was watching it on TV, so when I had TV. But yeah, Veep is
back when that was a thing.
Veep is extremely good if you just want to see Julia Louis-Dreyfus yell at idiots and then be humiliated.
And
I'm very interested in seeing that. Yes.
And one of those idiots is Tony Hale.
Yeah,
really?
He is the primary getting yelled at
love
idiot
him.
for most of the show.
God, I love him so much.
Yeah, he's her like not quite handler, but he literally does have like a giant like duffel bag with like all her things in it.
He's like her work butler.
Yeah, there we go. Work butler. That covers it.
That's an official title in the White House, right?
Work butler? Sure.
Veep also does have intense levels of Arrested Development energy. So.
Oh, does it?
Oh,
like not just because Tony Hale's there, but like the same kind of like almost whatever the social equivalent of slapstick humor is.
Yeah.
It's like, it's social slapstick.
It's very much got that, like, if there was a narrator, they would constantly be saying, so-and-so believed this would happen. It did not. Like, that Arrested Development
narrator
gag.
voice, and that did not happen, yeah.
Yeah, you could put that over basically every scene in Veep.
Yeah. Okay.
It's real fun. Big recommend.
Sounds like it. Sounds like a real good time. I may have to get into that shit.
I love the episode where she pretends to be like a down home country girl for the Iowa caucus.
Oh.
And is just horrified and disgusted by everything around her the entire time while dressed like a cowboy.
Oh my
and
god.
It's a really good
wow.
one.
And how many seasons are there of Veep?
How many what now?
Seasons are there?
5?
Yeah, I think 5.
I feel like it
sounds
ran
right.
for a long while.
Okay.
Let me check real quick.
They're not
7.
long seasons though. It's because it's an HBO show, so the seasons aren't very long.
Oh, yeah. I see.
7 seasons. Also stars the good Matt Walsh.
Oh.
Oh yeah, he's the her like flunky.
Yeah, comedian Matt Walsh, not insane right wing Matt Walsh.
Right.
But
the funny one.
Yeah, the funny one. He is her director of communication on that show. Anyway, strong recommendation. Fuck, I might watch that tonight.
Yeah.
Also by the same creator, Death of Stalin. Very good.
Oh yeah, shit, it is.
Also adapted from a comic book, which is one of the few cases of I think the adaptation being better than the source material.
Huh.
Because, and it's entirely just because TV or like film has time as an element of it. And
comedy in comics is real hard to master.
Well, it's also the show is much funnier, or the movie Death of Stalin is much funnier because.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant Veep. My bad.
Yeah, no. Death of Stalin was adapted from a graphic novel, and
oh shit, I had no clue.
It works much better because the fact that there is a sense of time actually leads to the sense of urgency that's built into the story hitting home in a much more effective way. Yeah. And it also it was easier to tell the, like, kind of blobby white guy Russian functionaries apart when they were all actors that you knew ahead of time than when they are kind of the same blobby white Russian guy in
Oh, okay.
drawings.
Yeah, it helps when they're played by Jason Isaacs also.
Oh, sure. Sure.
Jonathan Banks plays Mike Ehrmantraut, one of multiple characters that appears in both Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. In many ways, Better Call Saul is Mike's origin story just as much as it is Jimmy's.
Yeah.
Ehrmantraut starts the story off as a simple retired cop working a local parking attendant job in Albuquerque so he can be close to his family. By the time we get to Breaking Bad, Mike's a level-headed but dangerous enforcer and fixer for both Gus Fring and Saul Goodman. Jonathan Banks is a career character actor who featured on a season of Community between Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, and the reason I'm keeping his credit list short is because if I went into it, we'd be here all day.
We'd be here forever, but that's okay.
He's one of those iconic that guys.
He is an
Where,
intense
like,
that guy.
I didn't know his name until Better Call Saul, but then I realized, like, oh, I've seen him in, like, a million things, because he has such a distinctive face that kind of looks like a drawing.
He's
Such
definitely...
a distinctive face.
Yeah, like, he looks like an illustrator designed him, which makes him stand out in everything that he's in, but, yeah, like, I just never knew his name, because he was always the 38th guy from the top in the billing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did see there's this, oh, you know what? I mean, I'll make this part of our marketing. There's this, YouTube video essay that, like, talks about his career a little bit, where it's like, yeah, this dude loved playing hitmen and cops. So great that in this, he's a hitman cop.
Yeah.
Hitman
But
Cop
also-
sounds like it should be a Japanese movie from 1978.
Hitman.
Oh,
Hitman
absolutely.
Cop.
He is also one of the many people who is up in the like radio communications tower during Airplane.
Is he really?
Yeah, like when they're trying
Is he
to
really?
ground control. Or no, wait, what is it called? The traffic control tower. There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, he's one of the guys up there who's you can see him in the background of a couple shots. He's not like featured or anything. That's just like incidentally one of his first film roles.
How about that? Well, shit.
That must be
Today I
wild
learned.
to just incidentally appear in an all-time classic movie, and that's
Yeah,
just
right?
like your first day at work.
Yeah, and I'm just chilling in this super popular movie, you know, in BD. In BD, it's fine.
That's got to be
Just
like
got this
ideal.
little job. I'm doing this tiny little job, you know.
That's got to be ideal if you have the right kind of hustle, because you can turn that into so much by just being like, I was in Airplane, and then just
Right.
neglecting to mention that you were in the background and don't have lines.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That
Is there's a
doesn't
ton
matter.
of background people in Airplane.
That doesn't matter. Just because you were in the background doesn't mean you're not important. Come on.
But that kind of guy
definitely.
nowadays, that can, whoa, wow, he looks like a normal person here.
Oh yeah. Oh wow. Yeah.
But that is for sure his nose.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. He looks much less like a Muppet, though.
We love you, Jonathan Banks. You're a great actor.
Yeah, no, he's
We really respect
fantastic.
your acting. We respect your acting so much.
Jonathan Banks is an all-time great guy who acts without moving his face.
Yeah.
Because,
Okay.
like, Mike Ehrmantraut has, like, very little movement in his face. But because of what the character needs to be, like, he communicates so much with just his eyes and very tiny facial movements of a guy
Yeah.
who's, like, stoically tamping down any kind of expression because he
Right.
lives in a world where he has to be the hardest guy.
Of course.
It is also so prominently a vocal performance, a vocal and lots of extra body language. Like, I mean, we'll get into this as we talk more about like the show in general, but like every time there's like a silent sequence of him like prepping for something or whatever. Anyway, it's all, there's so much excellent like body movement stuff that he does.
Okay.
Anyway.
Well, very cool. Michael Mando plays Nacho Varga, a member of the Salamanca drug cartel who initially works under Tuco Salamanca. Nacho spends his days working for his father's car upholstery business and his nights doing dirty work for the Salamanca family. Nacho is motivated by his own relationship with his father and works diligently to keep his family life as separate as possible from his cartel life. Michael Mando featured as the voice actor and motion capture model for Vas Montenegro in Far Cry 3, as well as starring in the first 2 seasons of Orphan Black.
I have not played that Far Cry.
I loved Orphan Black.
Shit, how is he in it?
Really good.
Cool. He's a great actor. I hope to see him in more things.
He's really good. He's good in the stuff he does.
Yeah,
he does the acting good.
He's excellent in Better Call Saul as just this guy that you understand the degree to which he is putting up a front because he has gotten way in over his head. And
extremely.
And can project being a hard guy, but in a way that you don't buy it. And the fact that he spends most of the series across from Jonathan Banks as Mike is just such a wonderful juxtaposition of like seeing a guy who is legit and seeing a guy who is aspiring to that but is not.
Yeah, he does a great job in so many of these scenes, both being I should say at varying times in the show, very angry and still trying to keep that like tamped down, and very scared and still trying to keep that tamped down. And you can tell when he's fluctuating between the two of them. I'm thinking of the scene specifically in this episode where he's like, where he confronts Ehrmantraut and he was like, "Was that you?" You know, regarding the cartel hit in the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
And you can tell. Oh, you can tell he's simmering underneath.
Oh yeah.
His real like kind of staccato delivery.
Yeah.
You were not supposed to, like that kind of ooh kind of drive that he has to his voice.
Yeah. For sure.
Michael McKean plays Jimmy's elder brother, Charles McGill, a respected New Mexico attorney who believes that he is afflicted with an intense sensitivity to electrical currents. This is not real. This is a psychosomatic illness, but it sabotaged Chuck's professional life and made him reliant on Jimmy's care and attention, which he resents.
I mean, is anything really real? That's all I'm saying.
No, but this super isn't.
Is reality real? Yeah, no, this is super like the least real thing that's ever existed, sure.
Chuck is an antagonistic force in Jimmy's life, which comes to a head as the two clash in the episode that we're covering today. Michael McKean is a veteran comedian, character actor, and Saturday Night Live cast member, and features heavily in Christopher Guest movies, including Best in Show and A Mighty Wind.
God, first of all, I love both of those films.
I love Michael McKean.
Deeply. So do I. That was what I was going to say. The second thing I was going to say is I just really love Michael McKean. He's amazing.
I did not know he was a Saturday Night Live guy.
Oh,
For
yeah.
only like 2 seasons, I think. But yeah, he's in there.
He sure is.
We were one November or whatever, we were watching Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Classic Thanksgiving. Classic or whatever. He has a bit part as a cop in that movie.
Oh,
he's like a highway patrol officer who helps Steve Martin and John Candy at one point. And legitimately, like he showed up on screen and I just went, "Hey, there's my guy."
Oh my God, it's the guy. There he is.
For like a character that had like 2 minutes of screen time.
Yeah.
I think it's so
I
funny.
love Michael McKean. I think he's great. He's also really funny on Twitter. Just saying.
Oh yeah, he is.
He's very funny. Very funny guy.
I just rewatched Best in Show. I should rewatch Mighty Wind.
I just had the very stupid thought process of like, how is he on Twitter? He died. No, idiot. That was a character on a television show.
No, he's totally still here.
Yeah. And
they're
great.
Just acting.
That's how hard he acted. Is I was just like, oh yeah, no, he's obviously just that guy and dead now.
He's acted so hard. He's not actually dead. He's doing great. And he tags his wife and stuff all the time. It's very cute.
Aww.
Yeah, it's super adorable.
I love when major celebrities use Twitter like Facebook.
So do I. Like, they use it like old people. It's so cute.
I legit love that.
Patrick Fabian, Giancarlo Esposito, Mark Margulies, and Tony Dalton appear throughout the show as Howard Hanlon, Gus Fring, Hector Salamanca, and Lalo Salamanca, the series antagonists alongside Chuck McGill. Although only Fabian and Margulies appear in this episode, and both very briefly, their performances drive a lot of the conflict of the show and are worth shouting out.
I'm kind of bummed. I mean, I think we picked a very good episode. This is a very good episode of the show.
Yeah.
It does not feature any of those four guys, though.
Yeah.
Patrick Fabian is in like one scene in which he does not do a ton of talking, and you can barely see Hector Salamanca like in the distance in one shot.
Yeah, he's like in the background at his restaurant.
Yeah, he's like
right?
He throws something across the room or whatever. Like you're literally viewing him through binoculars or something.
Oh.
They're all so good though. Debatable for some of these characters if they're, quote unquote antagonists or not.
Sure.
I won't spoil things for Leslie's sake.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, anytime. But all of them are definitely Jimmy's antagonists, even if they're not bad people. And they work so good, being the various foils to both Mike and Jimmy's characters throughout the entire thing. Just some incredible... I mean, there's a reason I led this script with the phrase, like, these unconventional characters, because everyone's got, like, these varying, like, degrees of exaggeration to them, but they're also, like, so incredibly real people. Last but not least, we're watching Season 2, Episode 9, Nailed. Charles McGill's handling of the Mesa Verde case comes to a frustrating close when a simple transcription error causes their filing to be rejected by the New Mexico Banking Board. Chuck quickly begins to suspect that his brother, Jimmy, is responsible for the intentional sabotage of his documents, even as the case is being transferred to Jimmy's law partner and girlfriend, Kim Wexler. Jimmy McGill tries to cover his tracks as best he can. Meanwhile, Mike continues to kick the hornet's nest, that is the cartel, as petty revenge for Hector Salamanca, forcing Mike to take the fall for a crime that Salamanca's nephew, Tuco, committed.
Well, all right. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. This is a staff pick, kind of?
In
that Jeff and I... Yes. In that Jeff and I collaborated on what episode we were going to pick after a very lengthy discussion about this show.
Yeah, we ended up talking about for quite a while, trying to figure out which episode to pick. And then we kind of narrowed it down to this one as having... it's got really significant beats for Mike and Jimmy, while also not being quite as action heavy as some of the other options, which is more in giving an impression of what the show actually is most of the time. Because most of the action, sort of like big action, is largely confined to kind of late in the show as it starts to kind of approach...
Turn into Breaking Bad.
Yeah, as it starts to approach becoming Breaking Bad. Whereas, like, most of the show is, like, Mike is in a crime drama and Jimmy is in a legal drama, and those are kind of just weaving together because they know each other.
Right.
Yeah. Happen to know each other.
Yeah, and so I think this is
their connection is real tenuous.
It really is. Like, it starts off as... I mean, it starts off the show, like, in the first episode, you think Mike is going to be one of the bad guys for Jimmy because he's just the parking attendant who won't cut him a break.
The pilot episode, Lesley, has a...
I have actually seen the pilot.
Oh, okay,
cool. I have actually seen the pilot, so I have seen that.
Then for the audience, like literally, it's the bit from Fargo, the movie, where the parking attendant won't let the driver leave the parking lot without like paying in full or whatever, and he's like, "I have 3 voucher stickers. That counts. Let me out."
Yeah.
And that's a protracted bit that lasts like 3 episodes.
Yeah. So, Jeff, I have a question for you. I actually have two questions for you.
Yes.
So I understand that this was a quote unquote air quote staff pick. But I have never actually seen this show, and I say I've seen the pilot. I've seen like the first 20 minutes of the pilot. I was not in the right. You know how you got to be in a mood sometimes.
No, totally.
For these types of shows, like I was
100%.
like, I'm not. This is not the vibe right this second. So,
and you know what's great about that? It's impossible to measure when you are in the right mood for something like that.
So true.
You just got to press play on stuff and see what sticks.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. So, what made you decide on Better Call Saul?
So for one, I have watched it much more recently than a lot of other crime shows.
Sure.
And also, the 6th season had just gone up on Netflix in Canada. And I had been watching it, and the show has what I think might be the best executed final season of a television show.
Okay.
That
okay.
I think that I might have ever
seen. You gotta love it when they stick the landing, you know?
And because it stuck the landing so well, it got me like really thinking about the show on levels that I don't really think about most TV.
Okay.
In terms of just how well it's written and constructed and shot, and how like the degree of art skill that is going into making it
right.
is coming through and being, experienced by an audience. And so around the time when Ben and I were talking about what episode I wanted to do for this season, that was just the obvious answer for me.
Okay.
And so then we had an extended discussion about what episode to pick. And
like 5 or 6.
Yeah, we went through a
few.
Around. This was one of the first ones we floated, though. But then we had to bounce around because we realized a bunch of things that we thought were one episode were actually the end of one episode and the first half of the next one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think this show is a little more rigid in its writing than, say, Sopranos, in which I think plot points, as we discussed in our Sopranos episode, I think plot points in Sopranos kind of like really just like kind of come in like the tide, it's a little nebulous.
Yeah.
When they circle back to certain things. I think it's a little more rigid here, but there's a lot of still that where things you think are like, oh, maybe we're not coming back to that, or I guess maybe that was resolved or whatever, because still kind of like will sometimes come back and bite you in the ass out of nowhere. And you're like, oh shit, that was still on the table, like plot wise. And we were having that moment with the major thing that happens in this episode, which is the whole copy shop thing, and then Chuck's injury at the very end of the episode is actually like spliced over like 3 different episodes. But this episode contains the most of it.
Yeah, and it contains the like, essentially the climax of that mini arc, which is, Chuck's collapse at the copy shop and Jimmy's reaction to it.
Yeah.
We just both thought that this episode also included a bunch of other parts of that arc as well that it does not.
Yeah, some great insight into Chuck and his fucking problem.
Yeah. So I guess
into Kim, into Mike, all that jazz. Anyway.
Yeah, that's a good segue into my next question, which I always ask, which is why did you choose this one? What's great about this one?
I think it's a. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I think it's a really good like character buffet. I think we get a little bit of everyone.
Okay.
And I think even if you don't, well, I mean, I guess Lesley, you can confirm or deny this. I think even if you don't know what preceded this is a pretty tense episode.
Yeah. Especially, I was really admiring how it started, the beginning, and like especially the sound mixing at the beginning.
Oh yeah.
It was really entertaining. Really grabs you just right from the start.
for the listener who may not be aware, this starts with, as so many Better Call Saul episodes start, with kind of a silent sequence.
Yeah.
Well, here, actually, let me just pull up my notes. I think I called it like an abstracted sequence.
They really
Okay.
like to have a cold open that is semi-montage,
Mm-hmm.
and in a lot of cases, not in this case. In this case, it's very straightforward what is happening. But in a
Uh,
lot of cases, they will be kind of like an abstracted, artful sequence that doesn't fully make sense while you're watching it, but by the end of the
okay.
episode, you understand the metaphor that they're presenting you with.
Yeah,
Uh,
like ants on an ice cream. There's like an episode starts with that in like season 5 or 6.
there's one with
Okay.
just a rapper in that gets exposed in the desert after some rain.
Yeah,
Okay.
a
Okay.
parked car next to the beach, with like
I
the
just
door
really
open
love
and
that
like
stuff. I think that,
yeah,
and I think that Vince
yeah,
Gilligan does such a great job at that, which it goes without saying. I think, but
Whereas
yeah.
whereas this cold open is a lot more overtly narrative.
Yeah,
right,
for sure.
right. Which I did appreciate as somebody who had no idea what was going on.
But still, you don't even even if it is overtly narrative, you don't necessarily immediately know that's Mike.
Right.
You don't know why he's hitting up this truck that's going down the this desert highway. I dodged a Hotel California reference right there. You don't know what he's looking for. There's a moment where it kind of looks like Mike Ehrmantraut might bonesaw this guy to death,
Yeah, yeah.
but he doesn't. Thank fuck.
Which
That'd
is
be
excellent.
kind of unexpectedly gruesome for Mike Ehrmantraut.
No kidding.
That's a Walter White move.
Yeah, seriously.
But there's still like even though this is more distinctly narrative, there's still like a handful of moments where you're like, oh, hold on, what? Why is he doing that? Because it
Right.
starts with this dialogue list sequence, which comes up a lot. Plenty of episodes start with this abstracted imagery that makes more sense as the episode goes on, or maybe doesn't even make sense until the final moments of that episode,
Right.
which is really effective because I guess that's maybe what I mean about the rigidity of the writing, because then it just kind of like it's a very satisfying click into place when things do
Right.
connect
Well,
toward
and
the
that's
end.
also that's also reflective of what I mentioned earlier about how the art that goes into making the show is just so visible to the audience
Yeah.
Yeah.
because they're using the silent montage sequences to essentially ask the audience questions
Yeah.
like, "Hey, what's going on here? Why is this happening?" And they're going to answer all those questions, and they're usually going to answer them within that same episode. But it sets you in a more active state as a viewer because
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
you're thinking about this show you're watching because you're not just sort of being passively given information about the story that's happening. You're being invited in and asked to participate in the story that's happening. And even
Right.
if you're just participating in the sense of like thinking about what you're watching and why it's showing you what it's showing you, that's still inviting a more active viewer experience than most TV tends to.
Yeah.
Sure.
I I'm really solidly. I mean, obviously, I love visual art of all stripes, but
Sure.
I'm very
That's
solidly
why we're here.
that's why we're here. Yeah, I am very solidly a screenplay guy. Like when I'm watching movies, I'm paying attention almost a little bit more to the script than I am the other elements of what I'm watching necessarily.
Sure.
And I've had I think I pick up on stuff like that, like that where it's an active, it's trying to, the script is actively pointing you in a certain direction, and like I
Yeah.
kind of like I feel like I'm like a fucking Neo in the Matrix where he can see all the numbers, where
Right.
like I'm saying like, oh, that's gonna come back,
Oh
like that
yeah.
kind of stuff. And I've had
Yeah.
people ask me like, why do you like, because obviously I talk with my friends a lot about like the movies I like or whatever, and they've been like, well, how do you know what's going to end up mattering? And I'm like, well, I mean, I don't. I'm winging it.
Who really does?
Yeah, but like who really knows? And there's plenty of details that I, where I miss the setup or whatever. I'm not like perfect at it, but I think this show does like is such a good setup payoff machine in terms of like the kind of stuff I'm looking for in other movies is really like spelled out here.
Right. Yeah, they definitely they use the visual design of the show really effectively to signpost what you need to pay attention to get the key story components.
Yeah, I definitely noticed that too.
Instead of like a lesser show that would maybe try and wedge that kind of stuff into dialogue, or would have like a more ham-fisted approach. Like they'll take something they want you to pay attention to and then just make it the focus of a shot, while the action that would normally be the focus of the shot is happening in the background.
Yeah.
And also, in contrast with movies, sorry, Lesley.
That's okay.
In contrast with movies, I think, these being them trying to put all that stuff in your kind of like forward visual memory, your short-term visual memory, over the course of like a 50-minute episode of TV works a lot better than, remembering something from the first 10 minutes of a 2-hour-long movie necessarily. It really plays with your short-term memory and like making you remember these key things that it's going to keep coming back to. And therefore the magic of it is a little more obvious, but still masterfully done. Sorry, Lesley, what were you going to say?
Oh, that's okay. I was just going to say that's just something that I noticed. Because I watched Breaking Bad, and that was just something that I definitely appreciated about Breaking Bad, was the way in which, like, it's just really good television, man. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just really good TV.
And I think
it's just the way that they tell the stories is just really, really masterful.
I found Better Call Saul became even better to me after I watched Breaking Bad, because I watched Better Call Saul first. I watched the first 5 seasons, and then was like, well, maybe I'll give Breaking Bad another try, because the first time I'd watched it was when it was still on TV, and it was like a random episode in season 2, at which point I realized, this is not a show that I can drop into and watch a random episode and have any idea what's going on.
It's not really how that show works.
Yes.
I binged it myself, so.
But then after Better Call Saul, I watched Breaking Bad, and it's really fascinating to see the stuff that they've clearly taken from Breaking Bad that worked for them, but that they now have like a decade of experience working with and have gotten even better and tightened it up and gotten more inventive with it. And a lot of that is like a lot of the visual montage and having the audience be sort of more actively thinking about the show based on the decisions they make about what they're showing you. And it's really cool to watch a creative team develop in that way, because it's not something you get a lot on television, where you get another series by the same people in the same world and you get to see their growth as storytellers
over the course of 14, 15 something years.
Yeah. Because Breaking Bad was, I think, 2005 that started? Something like that?
I think 2007.
Something like that.
I think it was tail end of the Bush admin. I gotta say that.
Was
it
was that. Really?
And therefore the tail end of my middle school experience.
Wow.
I think Breaking Bad started in 2007.
January 2008, according to Wikipedia.
Oh, all right.
Well, how about that?
And Wikipedia is never wrong.
Wrong. Wikipedia is never wrong.
Two things about that specifically, which is, okay, the characters of, this is not really a spoiler, this is literally just, format of the show.
And it better not be, Ben. I'm just kidding. I trust you.
The characters of Kim Wexler, Chuck McGill, Lala Salamanca, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like many of these characters that pop up in this show, with the exception of 8 people, do not show up in Breaking Bad, because they were created for Better Call Saul. And this
Yes.
includes multiple members of the principal cast. Nacho Varga, obviously.
Okay.
This show does such a remarkable job of being a prequel that, except for the characters who die, which obviously I will not name,
Right. Thank you.
you could just... It is so believable that these characters are just in the background or off screen during Breaking Bad.
Right. Yeah.
They feel so thoroughly placed in this world, it's hard to believe they're not in the sequel, by which I mean
Right.
the original.
Right. The sequel.
Yeah, yeah. But it's so easy to just like, be like, oh yeah, blank's just off screen living their life or whatever. They're just not featured in the episodes.
I have
But they're
to say,
still
I'm
there.
really...
They're still part of the world. You know what I mean?
Right. I have to say, I'm really excited.
Please do, and please text me the whole fucking time.
There's
I'm really excited. I'm really, really excited.
There's some really fascinating late in the series stuff when it is starting to overlap with the timeline of Breaking Bad, where there are scenes that they're shooting that are essentially what Ben was describing as, like, yeah, they're just shooting what was happening just off camera during
Right.
a Breaking Bad scene, and it completely lands as being wholly believable that, like, oh yeah, of course that would have been happening if you had turned the camera around during this scene.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's sometimes discussion around Star Wars, and I don't want to get too deep into Star Wars discourse or anything, where like people are like, whoa, you're telling me the entire galaxy forgot the Jedi existed in like 20 years or whatever? Like the gap
Right.
between the prequels and the original trilogy or whatever. Where people kind of point out the how vastly different the prequel world of Star Wars is from the original trilogy world.
Right.
With all its like, weird institutions and religious elements and the massive galactic civil war and all that jazz.
Yeah, I just feel like, for me, this is definitely one of the best spin-offs I've ever seen, for sure, without a doubt.
Meanwhile, this feels so seamless in comparison.
Yeah.
Like,
Ben
again,
and I were talking.
That's just the world.
In our thread when we were trying to figure out what episode to pick, we had a like sort of spin-off conversation that I can't think of a better prequel in anything.
Straight up no.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. Also, this episode is so charged because it's like the one right before the finale, apparently. So
yeah. We picked up that ultimate
that's
one.
pretty. Yeah, you really did. Which I loved, by the way. I thought it was fantastic. Huge fan.
The other thing I want to say vis-a-vis its relationship to Breaking Bad. This is maybe a little broader. I think this is the best thing that AMC has produced.
You think so?
Yeah, I think. Sorry to Mad Men and The Walking Dead, but I literally think this is the best one.
I mean, I don't think it's hard to beat The Walking Dead at this point.
It's not. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
I think this is better than Breaking Bad in terms of...
I could definitely see that. I could definitely see.
I think...
And I think Breaking Bad was the previous king of the channel in terms of quality. Obviously, Walking Dead lasted way longer.
Yes, wait, too long in my book.
But it's really easy for a show to last a long time when you have one plot and you recycle it every season.
So
Yeah.
true, bestie.
And also,
So
you don't
true.
need to maintain a consistent cast.
Yeah, because you don't want to pay them.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I think Breaking Bad was the previous like king of that channel, and then I think Better Call Saul has blown it out of the water.
yeah.
And again, sorry, Mad Men and Hell on Wheels.
Sorry,
and-
sorry, Madman.
Oh man, I
Whatever
forgot Hell
else.
on Wheels existed.
Yeah, that weird Frontier show they did.
My
about
mom
the
was
railroad.
I also
super
forgot
into
about
that
that
show.
I forgot all about that.
I cannot think of a ton of AMC original programming. They're still
I
going.
actually can't either.
There was a really fun like kung fu like apocalypse thing called Into the Borderlands. That didn't last long, but it
Yeah.
ran after The Walking
Yeah.
Dead early on. That was really fun and weird.
Yeah, it was like 3 seasons, and it took place in the South. I think.
Yeah, but like after
And
the
the
end
villain-
of the world, and
Yeah.
they're just sort of like warlord kings.
Yeah, it's like literally if Mad Max took place in like Louisiana.
And also a
And-
lot of
and
people
with
knew
kung
kung
fu.
fu. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we should watch that one. Hell,
And
I'm down for that.
and the villain wasn't, but looked like Andy Serkis.
Oh yeah, he did.
Really, really,
Like, really did. To the point where when my roommate
Really?
watched it, I kept walking into the room and be like, is that Andy Serkis? Kind of looks like Andy Serkis, specifically when he's like playing Claw in Black Panther.
that's amazing.
Anyway, yeah. So, hey, Lesley, yeah, what did you think about this episode? I guess let's let's
I really,
focus
really
in, I guess.
Yeah, let's focus it. I really, really enjoyed it. Like I said, the tension was just so well done. I really liked. Like I said, I love the sound mixing on it. Like the way that the tension was built from the moments between silence and devastating noise. I really enjoyed. I just want to say, obviously, since I haven't really watched the show, don't come at me. But I didn't know his name was Jimmy.
Oh, I know, right?
I had no idea. I had no idea that his name was Jimmy. Here I was thinking that his name was, Saul.
I saw some analysis somewhere that was like, ever since this show happened, the whoever wrote this said, ever since this show happened, I've never thought of that character as Saul Goodman.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've heard that as well.
Like
I've definitely heard that as well.
Not to go back to Star Wars, but Darth Vader's still Darth Vader.
Right. No matter what.
But now I'm looking at him like, oh, that's Jimmy. That's just Jimmy.
Yeah, that's just Jimmy.
Like the character of Jimmy is so fleshed out that he almost he almost takes away from the alias of Saul Goodman.
Right. Yeah, I would agree with that for sure. I would
think
definitely agree with that.
Watching Breaking Bad after watching Better Call Saul, it also just feels like, and they do a good job of actually incorporating this into the closing acts of Better Call Saul, but like it feels so much more like a performance in Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Yes.
Than in Better Call Saul. Like Jimmy feels like a fully rounded human being that we're just following around. Whereas like Saul Goodman in Breaking Bad is very goofy, especially early on. Like he's very cartoonish. And it's really fascinating to see the creators and Odenkirk kind of take this buffoonish character and now let's show you how he got there and why his performance feels like a performance, because it is.
Yeah.
The
so
only
true.
thing I can think to compare it to is the kind of realization that we all have at a certain point in our 20s or whatever. We're like, oh my God, everyone's winging it.
Oh yeah. Nobody knows what's
like,
happening. Nobody knows what they're doing.
All the adults in my life know what they're doing. My parents know what they're doing, and my teachers know what they're doing, etc.
No.
And then
everyone's faking.
I've got friends who are teachers that are younger than me or whatever, and I'm like, oh my God, we're all just kind of figuring it out, huh?
We're all faking it.
But yeah, it feels very much that he that authenticity of character and his kind of inexperience shines through again on the other side.
Sure.
Which is, again, remarkable for playing a character in reverse.
Yeah. Very, very impressive stuff.
Which is, I mean, to be fair, I can say the exact same thing about Jonathan Banks as Mike, and I can say the exact same thing as Mark Margolis as Hector.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
Especially because Hector Salamanca is largely, he's paralyzed the entire time in Breaking Bad, right?
Yes, he is.
I believe so.
Because the first time we see him is in the Tuco arc.
Where he's already
he's already in the wheelchair by then, and like
of course he is. Yeah,
he spends like a large portion of Better Call Saul that way too, and like still delivers really compelling performances.
Yeah.
But when he's talking, he's really. I mean, obviously he's a great actor when he's not talking too, but when he's talking, he. Is a. I mean, just like getting the fact that he delivers a phenomenal like vocal performance, on par with his non-vocal performance in the other show.
Right.
It's
great
job casting that role.
Yeah.
Also, like the greatest of all time at angry bell ringing as a dramatic crutch.
Mm-hmm. Oh God, when he, yeah, okay, all right. I don't want to spoil a specific scene, but yeah.
Thank you.
Lesley, your thoughts continued. I think we derailed a little bit.
That's okay. I mean, aside from that, first of all, Bob Odenkirk obviously is just incredible. Can do just about anything. I think that I really enjoy watching his work, especially having seen him, in the first season of Fargo and how he played like this bumbling, absolutely useless, terrible at his job, you know, police officer.
ACAB.
And yeah, yeah. But for him to go from that to going to like this incredibly nuanced character, it was just so delightful. I don't know. I'm a huge Bob Odenkirk fan, so
It's very wild to think that, like,
as everybody should be.
When Breaking Bad first aired, Bob Odenkirk was best known as the other guy in Mr. Show.
Yeah, not David Cross, the other one.
Yeah, and like the degree to which that has flipped because of his dramatic roles.
You know what? That's true. I remember the days when David Cross was the guy that people knew from Mr. Show.
Yeah, it was David Cross and the other guy. And now it is Bob Odenkirk and the other guy.
And the other guy. That's so true.
And the guy who keeps going back for more seasons of Arrested Development for some reason.
Oh, God.
Stop making those.
Stop it. Please stop making those. Please just stop.
Shouldn't have made more than 2, to be honest.
I completely agree.
I don't think that third season of Arrested Development is good.
I don't either, honestly. But neither here nor there. Not the point.
Yeah. As we were going down the cast list at the beginning of this, I kept almost interjecting with, by the way, that's my favorite character. But I almost said that for every single one of them.
For every single one of them.
Is the problem. Because Bob is so good, Ray's so good. Oh my God, the Kim Wexler performance is an all-timer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, God, just you wait, Lesley. Trust me on this one.
Yeah, like I said, I'm just super excited to really get my teeth in this because, I just can't wait to see. Because, like I said, it's always been on the list. It's always been on the list. I've always meant to get to it and just never did. The one time I tried to watch it, I just it wasn't the vibe at the time. I wasn't in the right headspace. But now I'm like, yeah, I'm getting into this.
Oh, yeah. I think each character has this certain level of, again, unconventionality, but there's an exaggerated nature to each character that kind of it's so easy to cartoonify these characters. We were talking a lot about character design in the adult animated season, because obviously that came up a lot in terms of visuals. But Jimmy's weird wardrobe, Kim feels like she has an iron bar for a spine.
And also has the silhouette with the twisty ponytail.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, you gotta love that.
But other things like Mike's voice.
Yes.
Walter. Howard Hamlin's 1980s Wall Street fucking suits or whatever with his white collars and his all that jazz.
Sure.
Chuck and his security blanket and all that jazz. But these characters have such strong visual identity and strong personality identity that really allows them to shine through. Wow. Their motivations are definitely those of normal people. They're bitter and angry or whatever. It just kind of happens that everyone looks like they ought to be in a superhero comic also.
I mean, yeah.
Especially in the lawyer half of the world. They're very, very normal in terms of their goals and motivations. But they still have this really heightened visual design that makes it fit in with the crime half of the show much more effectively. When you can have the Gus Fring character inhabit the same world as goofy ass Howard Hamlin,
my ancestor.
You've done it right. Yes.
Yeah, I do think that is so cool though. The way that we get that background on these characters that we've quote unquote known for a while, but not really. It's really cool. It's really, like I said, one of the best, like, quote unquote spin-offs, prequel, whatever, that I've ever seen. So
Yeah.
It's really good stuff.
A lot of, I guess what I'm trying to say is a lot of iconography to these characters.
Yeah.
Again, Jimmy's suits, the wheelchair with the bell strapped to it, the fish tank, but like lots of nice like recurring visual elements. You can tell this is again, as much as we're praising the script, this is very visual first as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's really fascinating to see a creative team on TV that is clearly thinking so visually from the beginning. Like, this isn't a thing where they're writing a season and then designers are coming in and giving it a look. Like, they're clearly thinking about this as they're developing the story, that, you know, we want things to look a certain way. We want the visual identity of the show to be part of the story.
Yeah.
You can tell those ideas are working in tandem with each other.
Yeah,
definitely.
and like
I completely agree.
even Jimmy's wardrobe becomes part of the evolution of his Saul Goodman persona, because it just takes his flamboyance and just keeps cranking it up and up and up until, you know, later in the show
and it's just
he's trying to buy a car, and Kim is just like, no, absolutely not. You can't buy that car. Saul Goodman would not drive that car. That's way too normal for Saul Goodman to drive. You need like a weird old Cadillac. You cannot drive like a Toyota Corolla or whatever.
with a license plate that says lawyer up.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. It's so there's ways to do prequels wrong where you like have to explain everything that happens.
Yeah.
And I like that this show lets us, you know, trust its audience enough to figure out.
Yeah, we don't have to be spoon-fed a lot of this stuff, which I really deeply appreciate.
There is another character in this show. Oh, whatever. It's Howard. There's another character in the show who also has a annoying personalized license plate. His says Namaste.
Oh my god. Okay.
No, it really solidifies how obnoxious that character is.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
But it's not like they do a moment where like Jimmy walks by that, looks down, and goes like, "Oh man, I should get me one like that."
Right.
No, it's just like you can tell like, oh, Howard's DNA like bled into Jimmy over the course of the next couple of years.
Yeah, like part of Saul is a Howard impression.
Right.
Yeah,
because that's what he
thinks
a scumbag lawyer is.
Man, I just can't wait. I just can't wait to get into.
Lesley, start it tonight.
I very well might, man. I very well might. I'm not.
You do that, and I'll rewatch Veep or Justified. I said Justified. I promised.
Yeah,
Justified.
You said that's what you promised. Although I would prefer it if you watched Fear Limit, but whatever.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's fine. It doesn't matter.
But yeah, no, it does. It doesn't. I mean, there are parts that are a little bit on the nose, but yeah, he doesn't like literally be like, one day I'll become like you, like out loud to the camera.
Right.
Gotta get me one of those. You know, it's subtler, like we, you know, which again helps when so many episodes have large chunks of the episode that are silent.
Right. Yeah. Which that's another. I love it. I love it. I love it when they do that shit. I'm so into that shit. I'm not even gonna lie. I think that's great.
Oh hell! One of the strongest suits of both of these shows is the fucking needle drops.
Yeah.
The both Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul have incredible use of music.
Oh yeah.
Both.
Well, like I said, I know that Breaking Bad did, so I'm just so excited for this.
Both diegetic and adiegetic music. Not to bring out my nerdy little film terms, but like Jimmy's obsession with the oh damn it! What's the ba 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 ba?
Yeah, that one.
Smoke on the Water.
Smoke on the Water.
Smoke on the Water. Yeah.
Yeah. Jimmy's obsession with that song, which comes back multiple times. Oh hell! In this episode, By the way, 3 of my favorite characters in the entire series show up in this episode. We're like barely talking about the episode itself, which is fine. But 3 of my favorite characters show up in this episode, which are his little shitty film crew.
Oh, they're so fun.
Of college students.
Yeah? Oh, yeah.
They're characters that I never thought would come back after their first, their first appearances in the first season. I was like, oh, that was a fun little side thing.
That was cute. That was fun. That was cute.
They're still there in the last season.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
so
they
you
show
really
up
get some payoff with these characters.
Yeah, they show up at least once a season, and once again talk about like the whole cohesive world building. Like, yeah, I just assume they're off doing something else in Breaking Bad.
Right.
Well, and like
they're still there. They're still part of the fabric of the universe.
They even have
they're still one of the pillars holding it up.
An arc in the background where the cameraman kid at the beginning is like a film student, and by the last time you see him, he's working for that film school.
He's like a grad student. He's
in like
teaching.
a job that he hates, being in charge of the equipment sign-outs.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel like this is the show for me. This is the kind of shit that I absolutely love. I think that I cannot wait.
Yeah, just so many minor little details, so many minor little characters that just it I think that's my final thought is just that it creates this beautiful, unique tapestry of a world in which everything that happens in that world makes total sense for that world.
Yeah.
As people either go along with the ride or try to push against that world in various ways. What a great cohesive world, and I am so glad it's done. I'm glad it's like
I feel like I'm coming into this at a good time. I'm coming into this at a really good time.
Well, I'm just glad they're not like trying to be like, and now the Breaking Bad sequel series.
Right.
Like, no,
well, I know.
You can't do that.
It's over.
I was initially concerned when they announced that Vince Gilligan and Rhea Seehorn were doing another series together, because the initial stuff made it sound like they were going to do a Kim spin-off.
Really?
Which, like, no, don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
And they're not. They're doing apparently an unrelated new original drama that just happened.
Which is great.
They're just working together on it, but it's not set in the same world. Which, great. Yeah, let them work together and do a new cool thing instead of, like, I don't know, Breaking Bad, but it's the Muppet Babies.
Oh God.
Yeah, we got to go back further.
Actually, no. That's a bad example, because I would probably watch a version of Breaking Bad that is the same, but everyone is the Muppet Babies.
Except for who? Who's the one character who's not a Muppet Baby?
Jonathan Banks.
Of course.
Yeah, he's
Walter.
You
forgot your bottle, Walter.
Jeez.
Walter, do you need so many bottles? You could stop at any time.
Walter.
God.
And Saul Goodman is basically already a Muppet.
He's kind of Guy Smiley, the Sesame Street newscaster.
Yeah.
Muppet vibes.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm picturing him as in that scenario. He's just the Sesame Street news guy.
There we go.
Well, oh my God! Yes, yes, I can see it now that you have linked me to that photo.
It's like that, but instead of whatever he's yelling about in that GIF, it's yelling about effectively laundering money.
Sure. God, amazing, incredible. That I would absolutely watch the shit out of that. Let's be real. Let's just be real.
To be honest, any show that is just a normal show but everyone is Muppets, I would be 1,000% into.
Instant hit.
Well, to play the Muppet game, Kim has to be the only human, right?
Oh.
It's either Kim or Nacho is the only human.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, Nacho as the only human would be really weird, but really, really funny.
You can't hit up the Salamancas again.
Especially if he keeps
the
same energy of being either extremely scared or extremely angry and trying to suppress it, but he's talking to Muppets.
He's scared of Lalo Salamanca, but Lalo Salamanca is like Sam the Eagle.
Jeez, oh my God.
No, Jonathan Banks is Sam the Eagle. Like, that's Mike.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah,
you're
Mike is Sam the Eagle.
What are we doing anymore? What is happening?
All I was gonna say was that I have tremendous amount of respect
Jesus.
for a show or a narrative world that like just it knows when it's done
Yeah, yeah.
and doesn't try to keep the money train
And
going.
Right,
yeah, like
yes.
I respect creators that are willing to be like, no, this thing is over, despite the amount of zeros on this check you have slid across the
Right,
table. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm gonna do something
right.
different.
Folks, do we want to move into favorite parts?
Yeah, let's do it. I mean, I really think that the beginning, the opening scene, was just really probably my favorite just because of how it just grabs you right away. I mean, and obviously, and also like at the end of the episode, where Jimmy is talking about, you know, getting caught, the clerk at the store, all the documents, all that. I just love Bob Odenkirk. Okay,
Oh,
like I just love Bob
yeah.
Odenkirk. Bob Odenkirk was amazing, and the cinematography is amazing. So
Yeah. Shout out to that poor driver
yeah,
whose world got absolutely derailed by Mike Hermantrout.
no shit. He was just enjoying his Tejano tunes, man.
I think my favorite moment from this episode is when Chuck is confronting Jimmy and Kimmy at the same time. And is fuck. He says the line, I have it written down here, but Bob says something. Sorry, Jimmy says something, and
Good old Bob.
Chuck responds, "Hey, you and Mozart." And there's like a beat for a moment. There's a beat for a moment, and then Chuck explains, "You both got started young," thus explaining his own joke.
Right.
And I think that is such a good encapsulation of those two characters, as Chuck is the very successful one, but Jimmy's the one people like.
Yeah.
And that Chuck is so clearly jealous of Jimmy's natural charisma that he, in confronting Jimmy, tries to be Jimmy for a moment with like a little zippy one-liner that doesn't land. And you can tell like, oh man, he hates that his younger, less successful brother is way more popular than him.
Yeah, his weird fail brother is
Just
just
the
like,
guy people like.
yeah, he's beloved, and like,
Yeah.
no, he's the guy who would fall on his ass for insurance scams.
Sure.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
just that
Yeah.
quick little, it's such a good encapsulation of their characters to just have him be like, hey, you and Mozart, you both got started so young. Like,
Especially that beat
Just-
of like Jimmy
Chuck
and
can't
Kim
beat
being
him.
like, I do not know what that means.
Right.
I cannot
Yeah.
begin to fathom where you are going with this, Chuck.
it's such a good
Right.
summary of like, Chuck can't be Jimmy and Jimmy just can't be Chuck.
Yeah.
And they are, and that is their whole character conflict.
It's
they're-
just, it's a really good show.
Their whole
Also-
dynamic is just, they both want the other one's like love, but in
And they're
different
not gonna get it.
but in different ways that
Get it.
like Jimmy just wants his brother to be proud of him,
Right.
and
so
Chuck
sad.
Chuck just wants to be as loved as his brother, and
Yeah.
neither of them can get that,
Yeah.
and it's their
So
own
tragic.
faults.
Yeah.
My favorite part of the episode is actually in that same scene that Ben was just talking about. But it's and this is partly in retrospect after watching the end of the series that I think this becomes more powerful.
Yeah.
Is the end of the scene where Chuck is confronting Kim and Jimmy. Kim basically just lawyers Chuck as like, no, this is all conjecture. You have no evidence Jimmy did this. Like, you are just being a
Right.
dick to your brother. And she completely stands up for Jimmy and blames Chuck for his own mistake. Then they get in the car and she just punches Jimmy and tells him to drive because she knew the whole time that Jimmy was lying and is just like, Jimmy is her poison pill that makes her worse, but she loves him and will will go to bat for him.
Yeah.
Even
Kim-
though it would not be... It would be better for her, for Jimmy to just, like, kind of eat shit and have to deal with it.
Sure.
Yeah, what if you had to experience your own consequences for once?
Yeah,
What?
but she
Well,
knows
well,
that, like,
if it isn't the consequences of my own actions.
like, Jimmy is wrong in being a shit, but he's also, in this case, explicitly doing so because he wants to help her because she was wronged.
Uh-huh.
And, like, ultimately, like, she loves and somehow respects Jimmy and is kind of willing to compromise her own morals because of that. And it's a really good encapsulation of the entire arc of Jimmy and Kim through the series, where like they simultaneously make each other really happy and worse.
Yeah.
And so much worse. Yeah, they're, you know, as much as it's Jimmy's corruption arc, it's Kim's corruption arc too. And it's
I'm so
oops
excited.
Yeah,
I'm
like
so excited.
she gets sucked into his corruption arc, like essentially via just
Well,
being
that's
in his orbit.
That's how it, isn't that how it usually goes, though? I mean,
Because
with toxic people,
No Children by the Mountain Goats plays in the background.
right? Just say it.
Came out around the same time.
The other best part of this episode, I think, is the very, very end where it's just a silent shot of Jimmy looking across the street through the window of the copy shop after he's seen Chuck pass out and hit his head. And you can just see on his face the war between, like, I have to do something to help my brother, and knowing that I will blow the entire, you know, this entire scheme that I have been cooking up for most of the season. If he helps his brother, he will blow all of it. But he has to do something.
But you have to. You got to do something.
And then it just ends before he decides what he's going to do. And I think that's just an incredible, powerful shot.
Yeah.
For a show that is all about like gray morals and compromised morals and like, sure, you wouldn't do this, but what if your, you know, best friend was in trouble, or what if there was $250,000 on the table or whatever?
Sure.
You know, and like the unintended consequences that spiral out of that. You know, there's no point in Jimmy, at no point in the process of Jimmy switching those numbers around to spite his brother to get the case given back to Kim does he think like, and if I'm lucky, this will end in a gratuitous head injury for my brother. You know, in the same way that like Mike definitely does not want that random good Samaritan that helped the driver to have been shot and buried in the desert either.
Yeah.
Like there's so much like, okay, you can go down this path if you want. There are going to be unintended consequences that are going to affect random strangers and probably you. And there's going to be nothing you can do about those.
It's a very good story structure for the episode you essentially have the Mike and Jimmy arcs in this episode be like pretty parallel, like pretty much exactly of the unintended consequences of like you're trying to spite someone and the collateral damage of that spirals out of control.
Right.
And it's a thing that is present throughout the whole series, but not usually sort of this explicitly within an episode where the two main storylines are essentially running on the same arc.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's Better Call Saul.
Yeah, it's great.
Call Saul, woo! Yes, good show. It's good.
Hi, did you know that you have rights? The Constitution says you do.
Damn good show. It's a damn good show.
Jeff, as always, thank you for being here. Thank you for being
so much.
Our Syndicated with Lesley and Ben power player. Where can people find you? What are you doing these days?
They will
Got a
find
Kickstarter?
They will find me crafting the Syndicated World Championship for my next appearance.
It's gonna be you, Peter, and Rachel.
And you can. I draw comics. You can read my webcomic Hell Inc. at hell.rentathugcomics.com or on the Webtoon app. Just search for Hell Inc. And I am on Patreon where I draw other comics that I will eventually print, but you can read them as webcomics as I draw them by subscribing on Patreon.
Proud patrons since 2019 or whatever.
Yeah, that sounds right. Also, that's way longer ago than it sounds like.
Ooh.
Oh, I know, right?
Yeah.
We're not talking about that.
Christ, we've known each other for too long.
Yeah, because to me, 2019 is like, oh, that's like 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, it totally was. Yes, it was.
Turns
yes,
out...
it was. Yes, it was. Totally was. Don't care. Don't want to hear it.
But yeah, other than that, just go to the website. You can get to all my other stuff from there.
Lesley, where can people find you?
As usual, as always, people can find me on Twitter and also on Blue Sky at Vanetti, Vanetti. I talk about all sorts of neato stuff. You should come hang out with me.
Whoa, Blue Sky VIP over here.
Yeah.
Bow, 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 bow. Yeah, you wouldn't do this, but what if there were a Blue Sky invitation on the table, huh?
I mean, I'm just, but when I get one, Ben, I've told you this.
Bring us with you, please.
I will do my best.
Lift us out of the bird sight hellhole.
I will do my best.
Help us move out of Albuquerque. Folks, you can find me online at Ben C. Hamlin over on Twitter and pretty much anywhere else. All of my work, both the stuff I make directly and the stuff I help other people make, can be found at infinitybreak.net, where we're telling stories our own way, which, of course, is also where you can find this very podcast. Check out all of our other shows there. You can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/infinitybreak. Tell your friends, spread the word. You can leave reviews on Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much for listening. Want to shout out to our wonderful editor who's been putting in a lot of work into our marketing, especially this season. Shout out to Jay Gagnon. We really appreciate your hard work.
We love you, Jay.
We do so much. Yeah. Lesley, when you watch Better Call Saul, you know who to text.
I'm going to don't worry.
Drop it in a group chat. Who cares?
I will be blowing up your phone. I'll probably want to talk to everyone I've ever met, so I'm sure that, there's going to be quite a lot of...
Put everyone you ever met in a group chat. All good.
That won't get out of hand at all.
Anyway, we'll see you in 2 weeks' time with another episode. Thanks for listening.
All right.